for introductions, first of all. And second, yes, as you said, I'm originally from Ukraine. I've been in US for 10 years. It's been an amazing journey. I just love it here. It's a very beautiful country, and I had this amazing opportunity to study at FIT. I took their classes on illustration and on fashion design, and I love fashion illustration. It makes me relax. It allows me to process some ideas, or and just love it to show it to you. So let me show some of my works. I feel like picture speaks for itself. I'm going to turn on this light. Yeah, so I wanted to show a couple of my works. Some of them are done with watercolors, some of them are markers. So this one was done using watercolors. It's from Marc Jacobs ready-to-wear fashion fall winter 2020 catwalk. This one is from Brandon Maxwell, pre-fall 2020. It's also done with watercolor. Next, I like to do this close-up shots with to highlight the accessories. In this case, it's from Schiaparelli, spring 2020. I love these beautiful colors and how interesting shapes they made. So this is the watercolors with brush pen. I usually use this Pentel brush pen, which is very nice tool because it allows you to create very fine lines and also go into like nice line variation. And also you can almost dry brush it to create beautiful effects like I did here on here, or if you wanted to convey something like fuzzy, like this. So you can buy it online. They have it on Amazon. Also, Dick, Blick also have it. Yeah, it's very yeah, it's a very common pen. It's not hard to find, and it's not very expensive, if I remember it correctly. So this is my sketchbook. So here I just go through small sketches, and it's for me. It's not very precious. I specifically use it as a just brain dump. I come here, and if I see something pretty or I'm not sure how to sketch, I will do a small sample here, and after I would move to like bigger. If I like it, I would move it to bigger paper. So on this page, I want to show you how final fashion illustration for me looks like and for my style, because what I love about fashion illustration that there are so many different styles, and everyone has their own unique materials, or they have something very unique to them, and you can go and find 10 different styles very easily, and I love it. Mm-hmm. So these ones are done using watercolor. I do prefer using watercolor because it's very cost effective. It allows me to have very wide range of colors, and it also nice to have, like, it's also great for creating different like textures or shades. It's my
so
go-to.
Natalia, do you sketch in pencil? And
yes, yes. Usually yes, especially if it's bigger, not just like US letter sheet, but if it's more even bigger, I would definitely use pencil sketch first. I don't find it just because I don't want it to ruin. I don't want to waste any material, so I use pencil sketch first.
Is there a kind of paper that you like to work on?
Yeah, so for today I'm going to use Bristol paper from Fabriana. Actually, any kind of Bristol works as long as it's smooth. And my preferred size would be 9 by 12, especially for beginners, because you would have enough space to work on, and it's also not overwhelming. Yeah. Also, it's portraits, and I love this work because it's the whole look. It's I remember creating for someone who would go out on a summer evening and just like inspired by New York.
Yes, very.
This personalization can be about accessories. So this one is also done with watercolors, but some of the details, like here, you can see that it's like white pen. It's done with white pen. I'm going to show it later. And this one is watercolor pencil, but it's printed. So I scanned it, and after I print it on paper like this. Yep. So if you have any question, I'm ready to answer.
Well, there was one question. Do you publish your work anywhere? Or I know.
Yes. Yeah, I do publish it on Instagram. Here is my Instagram. Sorry.
Art of Croquis. How do you say croquis?
Yeah. Croquis. Yeah.
Croquis.
Croquis is okay. So croquis is figure template. It comes from French word. It's just a template of a figure that stands in fashion pose or some dramatic pose that would accentuate clothes. I mean, like if it's going to be like wide, beautiful dress, it's better to show it on this pose where she's standing with her legs wide, because you can you have just more space to draw that beautiful dress and show every single detail on it.
So does each illustrator have their own croquis?
Yes. So because it also, so every single illustrator has their own croquis, for first of all because they wanted to convey their own style, and second of all because some illustrators use different proportions. So for example, this is 9 heads. So if you take height of her head and just stack it one on top of the other, each other is going to be 9 heads height. But some illustrators, they use even longer. They have 12 heads, 10 heads, and exactly, it's just a matter of preference, and some just use it because they have more space to work on.
Gotcha.
And also croquis is not only for illustrators, but also for designers, because today I'm going to demo you how would I approach to design a collection. I'm going to use this template because it allows me to save some time and not draw figures, and just dive deep and start thinking about clothes and details and all that fun stuff. Before I go in, I'm happy to answer questions.
Yeah, no, I'm watching. Yeah, I'm watching
Awesome.
the chat. So if anyone has a question, I will, and they can put it in there, and I'll ask.
Okay,
yeah,
sounds great.
Yeah.
Okay, so for today I chose this idea of late summer travel. I created this mood board. Let's pretend we are all sitting in this camper van and we are just driving into the beautiful scenery. I believe it's Zion Park, or maybe it's somewhere in Utah. Well, it's very pretty, and I love this idea of travel, especially when nature starts to turn from bright greens and like summer colors to fall and like more orangey and more like orangey yellow and greenish colors, like dark greens. And I love the idea of fragility and almost translucency, how translucent all the like leaves and flowers become. Okay, so this is another sketch. This is another mood board. It's all like when I created it, I wanted for it to work together because this is my tool to not only just to convey mood, but also for me to remember what colors I wanted to use. For example, I love this green. It's so, I don't know why, it's just speaks to me. And I also love textures and faded elements over here. And the yellows on this one is just so warm, and so I feel like comforting and safe. Maybe while at the same time it also has this mood of adventure and like something new.
How do
And
you, Natalia, what's your approach for collecting these images? Are you constantly pulling things out of magazines? Are you using Pinterest?
so for this one, I use the photos from site unsplash.com because they are royalty free.
But what's the name of it?
Unsplash.
Unsplash? UN?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
UN and Splash. Uh, but usually I would collect as many photos or images that I like, and after I will start to filter them out and just try to look for a cohesive image that actually speaks to me. So for example, here, why I arrange it in that way, because I love how that is the same for me. Like every single person has their own mood board, and I can't stress enough. It's like if that mood board works for you, that's great mood board. Just go with it and work on it. As long as you understand it and you like it, I
Yeah.
feel like for me it's the best approach for it. So in this case, I just love idea of like flowers, and I also love colors. So yeah, it's just I try to explain, but it's more like collect a lot of images and after filter ones that you really like and just
Yeah.
skip
But
everything
I
else.
think what's nice about that is that it keeps you focused on the colors that inspired you.
Yes.
Sometimes if I
Yes.
start, painting or drawing, I get maybe distracted from the colors I intended. So it's
Mm-hmm.
a nice reminder.
Yep, that's I feel like you have great mood board when you can look at it and you are instantly transported to that mood or scene, or just like, yeah, it's the whole uh, goal of this mood board is just to transport us to that
Yeah. Yeah.
moment of us leaving our homes and going on an adventure.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
your mood
so
boards are typically non-fashion images, right? They're typically,
yes,
yeah.
it depends. Well, sometimes if I wanted to create something that was inspired by historical costume or by specific event, I would go and find like clothes from that period, or for example, if I'm inspired by muse from past, like for example, I want to create collection that is inspired by Princess Diana, so I would actually go and find her photos and try to incorporate in my mood board. But for now, I want to be I want to focus on traveling and creating great outfits for us to go that we can use when we go out. Yeah, so I will start with creating bigger shapes. I thought that I wanted to create a dress and two-piece look, so bottoms, top, and maybe some kind of jacket for this one. I will start with watercolors. I use Winsor Newton. It's hard to see, but there is a brand name. It's there. I would say it's very easy to find. It costs around like $20, but it's very nice because it has violet, green, black. Because for fashion illustration, you need to have more saturated colors. And for my brushes, I'm going to use Escoda. It's like a synthetic brush that is not very it's not very stiff, but it has nice snap to it. So why it's synthetic? Because it allows me to have better control when I'm applying colors.
What's the
And
name of the
also
brand? It's called Skota?
Skoda.
Oh, okay.
ESCODA.
I see. Okay, thank you.
It's size 6. And I also love to use this chisel brush from Simple Simmons. It's very affordable brand. It's also synthetic, and yeah, it just does the job done. So let's start with 2-piece. I have my watercolors here, and you all can see my screen, correct?
Yeah.
Just checking. Perfect. Okay, so first it's going to look awkward because they're going to be just like big blobs of color, but after I will go in and actually put more details, so it will make more sense.
Natalia, can you move the artwork a little bit to the left so that we can
Left.
we
Okay.
see you using the palette?
Yep. One moment.
Yeah.
How about now?
Yeah, it's perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
My palette on this side. Yeah, so I will start with my round brush. So since we are doing 2-piece, and it's going to be a jacket, I was thinking that the best thing to take with you while you're traveling is to have denim jacket. So I will start with that because it's top layer. So, and you will see me just like applying color, almost very I would say I don't put a lot of thought in it, but I'm still like noticing how the watercolor flows and what shapes. So for now I'm just focused on silhouette rather than on specific details, because I can always go in and fix it later.
Yeah.
And also you can see that because I'm using Bristol, which is non-cotton, it's cellulose. It's dries very fast, so I can have this nice texture with it. So, and for my pants, or is it going to be a pants?
It might get cold in the desert.
Yeah, right. So we might need to let's go for. So this is going to be our dress, and in here, let's go for white pants, or let's go for a long skirt. So it starts here, and I wanted to have this very wide. And for now, I'm not thinking about like how pretty is it or not. I'm just working through my design, and I can always adjust later. I'm just like asking myself whether I like this shape, or I wanted to correct, or I just wanted to change something about it right now. So for now, I'm going to leave it as is and move to my top. So, and now I'm thinking that if I do have nice blue and some yellow, I might go and use this shade, like burnt umber. Put it there. Okay, and I will leave it as is to dry and move to this. Just 1 second. I wanted to put some pleats on my crochet.
Do you work like can you combine marker on top of this after it dries?
No. So well, yes, I can, but I need to wait when it completely dries.
Completely, yeah.
But usually watercolors are, you can re-wet them with any kind of alcohol or water or anything. So just be mindful, if you start to draw on top of it, it's going to mess with your watercolors underneath.
Gotcha.
So if you wanted to add like very small details, and I'm going to do it afterwards, yes, go for it. But if you wanted to just paint over it, it's not going to work. It's just going to mix everything, and you're going to end up having like muddy
Yeah.
image.
I have a question.
Mhm.
The actual figure that you're painting on top of, what kind of ink is that made with? Just so I know it's not running.
Yeah, I used Pigma fine liner, which is waterproof. I'm trying to find it.
So today, if I decide I'm going to try this and I draw a figure, it has to be with a waterproof pen.
Yes. Oh, yeah, definitely. Otherwise, it
disaster.
it will
Or a
not
pencil,
work.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Pencil. Pencil or maybe black colored pencil. So anything except for that is waterproof and can resist water.
Gotcha.
So while this is drying and while me still thinking through what I want to add to this skirt, I'm going to go and create my my dress. So since we have like long skirt here, let's go for shorter piece on this side. I love t-shirt dresses because you can, and I also thinking about having it striped. So over here. And also while I do those marks, and I'm thinking about what is underneath that dress. So for example, now that I am in breast region, I try to convey that there is like form to it by you see, by applying different by applying my stripes in different with this is how it becomes more
there's almost like there's movement in the dress.
Yeah.
Yep.
And also it needs to be said that since now that I am drawing, this drawing it's not for production, it's not for factory. Those are called fashion like flats, where you would have even more details, and those, because you cannot create actual dress from this. It's just for me to work through my ideas and like just brainstorm whether I want this dress to be created or not. So if I wanted to create something that would be used for factory or my production team, I would need to have even more details, and it needs to be like completely different style of fashion illustration. I just wanted to say that it's very important to distinguish what is the purpose of.
Right. So this is concepting an idea.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so this is dry now. I can go back and fill it in. Oh, I wanted to use this brush. Let's take. Why I like using flat brushes, because it just allows me to create these fun forms that would convey movement.
Mm-hmm.
And also while I'm doing it, I also think about that skirt would wrap around the body, so it's going to be darker on the sides. Sorry, sometimes it's hard to talk and draw. And sometimes, so I specifically do color in darker on the sides. and leave.
Creating the shadows. It's...
Yep. And since now I already have orange on the sides, I will go and just color in with lighter yellow shade, so it wouldn't look transparent. Okay. So for this one, I wanted to add some shadows, so it would become more 3D. So I'm going to put some shadows under her arm, this side. And I also wanted to add some accessories for her. Let me think about. I wanted to, because it's going to be, we're going into the desert, so
Yeah.
I was thinking about having some hat. And for sure.
Could you put sunglasses on?
Yeah, this was my next.
It's sunny in the desert.
Yeah. Okay.
Is hair typically added to these type of paintings?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so since I'm just like like brainstorming ideas, hairs are usually not as important. They come in very like later on in process when you are creating high fidelity images. For now, it's just like it doesn't matter because all focus is on her and on her dresses and clothes itself. Okay, so I feel like I can go in and add some details. So as I said before, I'm going to use this pentel brush. And now I wanted to make sure that everything is dry. And I want to add more, actually add more. And I can add samples.
What are there good resources online to find these? I'm sorry, the croquis. Is that, am I saying it correctly?
Yeah, just usually you can go and search for Google templates or figure template or croquis. This is like actual. Yeah, and it's.
Could I print it off, like if I found a template I liked and I printed it on computer paper, could I work on that, or is that a little bit more difficult?
Yeah, definitely. Just I would say just keep in mind that if you are downloading something from online, it's usually under copyright, and just be mindful about that. And also if you are, yeah, just like if it's not free, and is it free? Well, if it's free, it's usually just for your personal use. You cannot use it commercially. Just
Yeah. No, yeah, I'm not there yet. I was thinking more of an activity for me and my daughter.
yeah, but it's easily available. You can also go on Etsy, and they have templates there.
Oh, how cool! People are selling templates.
Yeah.
Now, if you wanted to add like a purse, would you just draw it in?
Yep.
Yeah.
Let me. I want some purse. What kind of purse? Is it going to be like
Maybe.
those bucket purses?
Sure. What do you think goes with this outfit? Or maybe just a little purse to put her phone in.
Let's see. I think that purse it's like more.
Oh, cool.
Like something fun.
Yeah, love it.
Okay, it's dry now, and I can go back and.
Now, Natalia, when you start painting on the figure, do you like, does it matter where you start, like whether it's the top or the bottom, or not really? Just whatever
It doesn't matter.
doesn't.
Like, just start where you're most comfortable and just walk your way through it. That's it.
I think what's nice about this is that you can, this is like so portable. You can travel and you can work on this.
Yeah.
So while you're, I mean, I say vacation. I mean, not that we're going on vacation, but or on a flight.
Yep. So, since I was saying that I love those of these colors, I also love this almost faded text on it. So I was thinking about adding some type of text here, because you see there's like 80 and something. So for purposes of this demo, my croquis is drawn like very, very bright. You can see through like all the dark lines, and this is what doesn't, it was done on purpose for everyone, for all of us to see it.
Gotcha.
But I'm going to show you later on, when you don't have those lines, it actually looks more 3D. Just to keep in mind. So I'm going to.
I'm sorry. So you're saying for the purpose of this call, we made the
Yeah.
lines dark. You made the lines dark so we could see, but typically it would not be this dark.
Yes. So for example, I knew that because also if I'm drawing it with pen, it will be much easier to remove. So going back to that question, I would usually start with pencil, yeah, because you can just remove. So if it were a pencil, I would just go back in and just like erase every single line that is inside. Same for this one. But because now it's waterproof pen, I cannot do it.
Yeah, there is.
Okay. And with this pen, I just go over the sketch and just accentuate details that I like. For example, I want to remember if I'm going to move with this design further, I want to remember that I wanted to have this skirt very, very like voluminous. So now I'm just go and even make it even more pronounced. For this one, I like how simple it is. So I just not going to add a lot of black to it, just tiny bit. And also adds movement when you okay. So this
Natalia,
is
remind me the name of that pen someone asked.
okay.
I'm sorry.
It's Pentel brush pen.
Oh, Pentel brush, okay.
Pentel.
Thank you.
It comes with this brush. It's nylon brush. It's very flexible and can produce very nice line. And it's amazing for details and also for creating wider strokes.
Does it come in other colors?
Yes, especially if you are traveling to Japan, they have every single color. But for US, you need to search on Amazon, and they do have like, for example, I had this nude gray and I remember red color, but it's not as easy to find as black. But if you go on Amazon, you might find it there. So I created this side, like these two pieces, and before I created these two, and you can tell that there is no lines going under the clothes, so it looks more 3D. While if we compare it to this one, you see all the line and just like a mind. So this is my collection for traveling in summer.
Summer 2020.
Summer 2020. Oh yeah, and last but not least, usually you should sign it to remember for later what was your. Okay, and now, so after this, I would go through them again and think whether I want to move forward with this piece or this one. It just, at this point, what I like about it is my thought process, and it's very accessible, and you can use any kind of material you want as long as you're comfortable with it. And also, yeah, just have fun. And
I love it. I love how it transformed.
Say it again?
I said I love how it transformed.
Yeah, with those black lines.
Yeah, it's incredible. Well, thank you so much. I really enjoyed this, and I'm going to practice later this afternoon. We'll see how it comes out.
Send me
yes, and also if anyone decides to try doing this later as well, please send me your final art. You can email it to me, Allie@pacificartleague.org. And also, please check out Natalia's Instagram. I think it's incredible. And I love the different, you do, like a traditional drawing like this, but you also work in digital as well, correct?
Yes, I do. Both. For digital, I use Procreate.
Yeah.
It's also very fun. It's even more portable, and it's just.
Show everyone your Instagram, your little Instagram card. It says, yeah, so everyone can see. Yeah. And you have a camp this summer it's July 27th to the 31st.
Yep.
It's for kids 9 to 13.
Yep.
But we maybe take a little bit younger, a little bit older, depending on interest.
Yep.
And I'm hoping I can convince you to do an adult class because this is really fun.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm more than happy to share, and yeah, it's just something that makes me very happy. I use it to relax. It's great for meditation. It's just yeah.
Well, I also see like it'd be fun to do, portraits of like friends.
Oh yeah.
It can go beyond fashion and more, give them give it as a gift to a friend or.
Yes, you can give fashion portraits. This is how. There is a whole style for drawing faces, and it's also very easy and very playful. This is what is like best. if I would describe in one word, it would be playful, and it's very relaxing. So that's why I love it.
I love it. It's so beautiful. And I'm so inspired by your story of going from PhD to artist.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
It's incredible. Well, thank you, Natalia. And thank you everyone for